Welcome back to In The Slant. As always, I'm joined by Alex. I'm joined by Jared. Dustin will not be joining us today. He is sick, so get well soon, Dustin. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one. Of course, subscribe. If you are new to the channel, as always, greatly appreciated. Today, we're going to be going over a Bleacher Report article that is going to talk about the dream scenarios for every single team. So we're going to get a taste, a little bit of every single team in today's league. But there's some news we want to talk about, so I don't know if you guys have anything you want to start with first. Go ahead and just let me know, we got some things written down we wanted to talk about. So Jalen Ramsey apparently might be traded by the Los Angeles Rams, which I think makes a ton of sense because the Rams need draft picks.
I agree, honestly, because Sean McVay wanted to have a super team, got his one ring. Matt Stafford got hurt last year. There was a big scenario: who's going to play quarterback? Baker Mayfield coming in. He did an all right job. Honestly, he surprised me a little bit. Bouncing around. As we can all say, I don't want to put disrespect on Baker Mayfield's name for what he's done, and walking on at OU was a big accomplishment for him, but it's looking like he's not a true number one pick, kind of a bust. I'll be real. But I'm not trying to talk down anyone's name.
Hey, at least he won against the Raiders on that one weird comeback game.
It was crazy. It was crazy. But, we'll see what happens. What makes perfect sense is Jalen Ramsey is going to get traded. He's gone. No big deal. He's a vet. Someone's going to pick him up. We'll see what happens.
He went for 2 first-round picks last time. Do you think he goes anywhere close?
That was what I was about to bring up. The question is, where is he going to go and for how much?
I think at least 1 first maybe still, but I don't know if you get 2 first-round picks for Ramsey again.
I don't see the Rams keeping him right now. Like, just the way that team's going, like Brady said, they need draft picks.
Yeah,
for sure.
It makes so much sense for them to trade Jalen Ramsey. It's not even funny. Like, the draft capital that they've sold away, of course, they got their 1 championship, so obviously that's the ultimate goal. So, that's great and all, but now they're in such a weird situation with Stafford, and, of course, still have Cooper Kupp, who's an absolute stud. But other than that, they're in definitely a weird situation. Of course, we also have Daron Payne received the first franchise tag, so the Commanders have franchise tagged Daron Payne. Of course, it'll be some more franchise tags, but that's the first guy of note to get franchise tagged. You got the Packers. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers went out and came out of course, his darkness retreatment, and now they're going to be choosing between Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, of course, they're reporting that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are closer to divorce than returning, but I feel like they've said that the last 2 years, and he's been back. So, if you're the Packers, I feel like you should probably just go with Jordan Love going forward. You traded up for him for a reason and drafted him with the first-round pick. Besides, you didn't get Rodgers a weapon. You instead got a quarterback for the future. Maybe it is time to just part ways. I don't know how you guys feel about, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love situation.
Get rid of Rodgers. Let him go somewhere else, like you said. That Jordan Love's been on the bench for me too long.
Yeah,
let the rookie get a taste in the NFL. And not the rookie, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Let him get a taste in the NFL, and let the Packers just move on from Aaron Rodgers. I think it's time.
Yeah, I agree, but a couple times I've seen Jordan Love play, it's a little iffy. He has a little cannon on him, but then again, it's a different league. It's just kind of crazy to see Aaron Rodgers still hanging in there, but it's time to part ways. Let's see what he can do somewhere else.
Raiders.
We'll see. That would be nasty. Devontae Adams and him back together.
Reunited.
Josh Jacobs. Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun, though.
If I was Rodgers, I would not want to go there.
That would be crazy.
I'd want to go to a team that is fully built and ready that just needs me a quarterback.
The Raiders aren't ready for that moment.
You answer that yourself.
Yeah, you're probably right. Derek Carr expected to meet with 3 teams while he's in Indy for all the combine stuff, of course, but for him to kind of figure out where he's going next. Of course, we've already talked about the Saints, the Jets, and now the Panthers are also in the mix. So not to be confused that Derek Carr was going to the Indianapolis Colts or to visit with the Indianapolis Colts, because that's what Dustin was telling me. He was like, gonna go talk with the Colts. I'm like, no, dude, he's going to Indy to talk to the Jets. But I wish I was here to argue with him. But oh well. And we got the releases today. Had guys like Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota, Bobby McCain, Kenny Galladay, Leonard Fournette, which was
the most surprising.
Yeah, most surprising one for me. Carson Wentz obviously expected. He was very bad.
No, the most obvious one here was Kenny Galladay.
Oh, for sure.
That is broad as daylight, dude.
I'm a Giants fan. I'm not surprised at all.
That is tough.
Paid him lots of money.
Dude, you paid him lots of money. He was your wide receiver 4.
I know. I think there's a lot of internal issues in the locker room. There was a couple of scenarios where he was getting interviewed after games. You could tell he didn't look too happy. He did pretty good in the playoffs. He had that one key block against the Vikings for that one key block. not gonna make up for the millions of
He had that
dollars
nice
we
touchdown
paid him.
week 18
Yeah,
too.
yeah, that was nice.
Some people
but
said he just hated the weather in New York.
Jared, you
it's too cold.
Jared, you laugh at him, but
You
he'll
know,
be a
King
he'll
Detroit.
probably be a Raven soon.
Well, welcome home, Kenny Galladay.
I could so see the Ravens going, oh well, Kenny Galladay used to be a number one.
Listen.
Lamar, here's your weapon.
Oh,
I'm not against any players. You know, if you want to come play for Baltimore, come on in, man.
I can't imagine Lamar with weapons. I mean, I'm not counting Lamar out ever.
Give
Yeah.
us
I'm
this
sorry,
defense
I'm
and give us
not.
weapons. We're going to the bowl.
Which, of course, Lamar
Bowl.
hasn't received the franchise tag, and we're still waiting on that.
Oh,
We've
'cause
talked.
we're working out the contract, man.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Jared.
So
right,
many
right?
rumors about
It's
it.
gonna happen.
I was looking at the YMCA the other day, and the whole headline on ESPN was Lamar Jackson.
You
Well,
know
he's
why,
the best
guys?
free
'Cause
agent.
yes, it's
Best
so,
free
it's
agent.
so clickable, and it's so clickable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Anybody sees anything? Okay, I'm gonna look.
Yeah, 100%. No doubt. Carson Wentz. Do you guys think he even plays in the league anymore, or do you think he's gonna retire?
If he does, back up.
Backup for sure. He's
Backup,
not
yeah.
starting anywhere ever. And this was his last chance. And I was pissed the day we traded for him. Then obviously you try to convince yourself that it can work, and I did do that. Then week 1, you had the 4 touchdown, 2 interception game. So I was like, okay, Carson Wentz gonna
Yeah.
be the guy. And then
Which was against.
yeah, just the Jacksonville Jaguars, which
Okay.
they ended up making the playoffs.
yeah,
But
yeah. They had a smooth season.
Well,
for sure.
Being a Washington fan, you got to be optimistic. You can't just be like, okay, I don't like you. You see your team sign a guy like Carson Wentz.
Bro, they're
You got to be
loaded
optimistic.
up.
wait a
Yeah,
minute, dude.
That team's loaded, bro.
Signing him is one thing, but giving up draft picks to get him was the part that pissed me off the most.
The
So
next year he's released.
yeah, I knew
That's
that.
tough.
I mean, that's why they traded for him, because he had an out on his contract.
Mhm.
Like now he has no money, so it's
Yeah.
a $27 million. We free up $27 million
So
by
much.
releasing him. So much
Yeah.
money, which is gonna help
Huge.
to resign Deron Payne and other things. We're going with Sam Howell apparently as QB1, which I'm excited about. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, he's only made 1 start, so we don't really know
He
what
looked pretty good, too.
he did look pretty
Yeah.
good though.
But under a new OC, which is really exciting.
Eric Bieniemy, of
Yeah.
course. We talked
Yeah.
about that a little bit. I'm super excited about that. And his press conference had me wanting to run through a brick wall. So I really loved what he had to say. But of course, guys are always going to say the right things. It's always about
Right.
what we see on the field. So
Well, his interaction with Terry McLaurin was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
exactly.
seen that. You seen that?
yeah, no, I'm excited about our
Yeah.
offense this year. One thing, it was
So loaded.
Scott Turner. I mean, I'm so glad he's gone. Watching him call our offense was so annoying. But you guys have heard me complain about that
Yeah.
all the time. So we want to get into the main thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our offseason dream trade scenario for each team. So we may not spend as much time on certain teams, but we're going to try to go through this as much or quickly as we can. But of course, if there's something that we just got to talk about for a long time, we got to. So this article is written by Christopher Knox. It was on February 23rd, 2023. It's dream offseason trade scenario for every NFL team. So we're going to start from the top. Of course, this one we've kind of already talked about. Arizona Cardinals trading DeAndre Hopkins away. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that. We kind of figured that could be the case, just because the way that him and Kyler Murray argue on the sideline all the time.
Man, all the time.
It's just way too many arguments.
Like, what are you gonna get out of him though? I mean, he's pretty old. I still. I mean, if D Hop was like, "Let's go to the Giants," yeah, come on, like let's go. But
I know Jared wants him on the Ravens. So
Yeah.
he can still ball. He just, I mean, you got Kyler Murray's a good quarterback, but I've heard plenty of people say he's not that guy. And I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and back that up, but he's not your prototype 6 foot higher quarterback. He can scramble well, but we'll see what happens. It's just,
I mean, I feel like some people call him a diva in a way.
yeah,
It feels like, but I mean, obviously we're not really there, so we don't really know exactly what's going on there. But
it's usually internal locker room issues. So
they got the
Some of
Atlanta
them can
Falcons in this article trading for Jalen Ramsey. So
Atlanta Falcons.
I don't know if I like that.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna go back to that.
Go ahead.
DeAndre Hopkins. I do see it. I just want to say this, just something quick, that I do see that happening though. So that being a
Him
dream.
being traded.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
do.
sure.
So,
yeah.
I definitely see him being traded, like no doubt. But yeah, Jalen Ramsey going to the Falcons. I mean, him and AJ Terrell would be nasty, but
It would.
Yeah.
I do not see them though.
I don't
trading
see
for
that
him.
happening though. I don't see the Falcons. I mean, he's already 28, about to probably be 29 soon. I don't see the
Who,
need.
Jalen?
Yeah,
I think he's 30. I
or
don't
maybe
even
he
know.
is already 30. I mean, I know
know.
he's up there in age, regardless.
Yeah.
Though, I don't see the reason to trade for him when you're already kind of young in Atlanta. So I don't see the point of adding. I mean, I guess if you're looking to go win right now, Atlanta could do that. But
But who they gonna have under center? Desmond Ryder?
yeah, that's another thing. I mean, apparently
Yeah.
they're open with their quarterback position. They of course freed up Marcus Mariota, but Desmond Ritter. I mean, I don't know if
Ritter.
you could really judge him based off what we saw. But he might be the guy. They may believe in him. I have no idea. It sounds like they're going to be very open about it. I've also heard some rumors about the Falcons wanting Lamar Jackson. So who knows what's going to happen. I know they were in the mix for Deshaun Watson. So.
Crazy stuff,
that ain't happening.
Ain't happening.
So
I'm going to say this too. I don't see Atlanta trading for no Jalen Ramsey. I see a team like Minnesota or somebody going after Jalen Ramsey.
100%.
A team that's desperately in need for cornerback.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens trade for Hunter Renfrow.
How you feel about that?
Well, I want to say that Brady was over at my house yesterday, and he had brought this article up, and he had said you were never guessed as wide receiver. And for whatever reason, I did not look at this article, but I did guess it, and it was Hunter Renfrow. What are we trading for him for? Like, why? We have Rashad Bateman. We just need a good number one. Rashad Bateman could be that number one if he was to stay healthy. I do not see us trading for Hunter Renfrow. To me, Demarcus Robinson, to me, is like a Hunter Renfrow in our offense.
Exactly. I don't see the point of that.
No, it's just waste. I mean, if he came to Baltimore, he'd be a good, I think, 3.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Renfro's solid, but yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's it.
Ravens need a
clear number one. That's what I'm saying. So if we went and got our clear number one behind Rashad Bateman, and then we had Devin Duvernay, and Hunter Renfrow comes in, he'd be like a number 3.
Yeah, exactly.
This scenario I do not see happening at all. And if it does, you won't see me talking about it because I will be pissed.
He'll be playing mostly in the slot, man. He's going to be a 2 or 3. He's not going to be a number 1.
Exactly.
He's not going to be playing on the far side.
He's solid.
He comes to Baltimore 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns.
Last year was very rough for him.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, Derek Carr didn't have the best season.
Injuries also with Renfrow didn't help.
I picked him up on fantasy.
I did too for a second.
Like,
he didn't do nothing.
Who's that quarterback from Florida? Anthony
Richardson.
That man's nice.
Hunter Renfrow comes. We have Anthony Richardson throwing to him. 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, baby.
Buffalo Bills trade up for a wide receiver. Yeah, I could definitely see this because outside of Stephon Diggs, their wide receiver room was a little less productive than you would have liked. A lot of people expected a breakout from Gabe Davis, but he was kind of up and down all year.
Jamison Crowder.
He got hurt early in the year, and then you have Isaiah McKenzie. They signed Cole Beasley off the street, so like. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I mean, he retired and then came back. So,
I could get him a quick bull real quick, didn't he?
Yeah, he tried. Didn't work. Buffalo was so disappointing in the playoffs. Not even funny. Which is why I think they feel like they need another weapon outside of Stephon Diggs. So I could definitely see where this is coming from. But I really expected something out of Gabe Davis.
That was them trading for one.
Yeah, trading up in the draft. It sounds
okay.
like.
Either that or just attacking free agency.
Yeah, I guess you could do
and
that.
like their running back spot. I mean, Devin Singletary's solid, but
James
Cook. Yeah.
I mean, he could potentially be the starter. I had a lot.
And then they traded for Naheem Hines as well. So
Yeah.
like they have these like running backs that are like I don't know if you can really. I like them, but I don't know if I like them all as like number one.
Can I bring up one player about the Bills real quick?
Go ahead.
Jordan Poyer. See what he said?
Oh yeah, he wants to go. He wants to go to a state where they don't take half his money.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So is that bye to Buffalo?
He's getting up there.
I think there's a chance
nice.
he's gone, especially after that comment.
I just can't imagine like Stephon Diggs leaving anytime soon, just because of how productive he is with Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like he said, he wants to play with his brother.
Send Trayvon Diggs to Buffalo. I can't.
I know. If he's chasing the ring,
came to the Cowboys, Stephon came to the Cowboys, I'd be pissed.
It's just. Why
But
would
no,
he go to the Cowboys if he wants?
it's okay.
a
Jerry
ring,
Jones
you
ain't
know?
paying for that anyway. He didn't want to pay Amari
That'd be
Cooper, so-
crazy.
Yeah, no, that's not
Crazy.
happening.
That'd be
We don't have to
crazy.
worry about that.
Amari Cooper
He'd
had a
rather
pretty
pay
good
Michael
season, too.
Gallup.
Brady's
than Amari
shaking
Cooper.
just thinking about it, man.
I am actually
talk about
kind
Michael
of.
Gallup is a stud, though. I'll give him his flowers.
He didn't play too well last year.
No, he didn't. But like, in terms of like, is he gonna get it done when he's healthy?
Oh, yeah.
If he has someone really slinging him the ball, I mean, let's just throw it up. Let's see what happens. I guess.
Carolina Panthers trade for Lamar Jackson. I feel like we're gonna see this a lot.
No.
Listen, guys. Let me
I don't think he's going
anywhere.
That's what they wrote in the article.
If anybody's gonna take Lamar from us, I'm asking for 7 first-round picks. Brian Burns.
I don't
Go ahead
think
and give
you
me
could- I
Brian.
don't
No, hold up. Give me Brian Burns and give me J.C. Horn.
I don't even think you're allowed to trade 7 first round.
I don't give a damn. Lamar's not leaving. If Lamar leaves, I ain't watching football next year.
All
it ain't
right.
happening.
You're
Dude.
checked out.
I don't see that happening.
Trade him to the Giants.
Chicago Bears trade down twice in this draft. So they have come out and said that Justin Fields is the guy they believe in, which I think is the right move because they definitely could collect some draft capital in a team. Or with this draft, with Bryce Young maybe being the clear-cut number 1, there's a lot of teams that would love to trade up for him and get his services. We know the Colts are desperate for a quarterback. Carolina could be in the mix for that. So Chicago trading down would not be out of the realm of possibility for me, especially maybe twice and collecting as many assets as possible.
That's about the smartest thing for them to do.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to draft one of those defensive studs at the top though, and Will Anderson and Jalen Carter. But I mean, sounds like they want to trade down and collect more assets. So
Bears are in a perfect spot with their pick. Not only that, they're going in the offseason with the most cap space.
Exactly. The number 1 pick literally just fell to their laps too, so it just kind of like helped out. Like such a good spot for the Bears to be in. I expect big things on the Bears.
Yeah, this is an important offseason for them.
Cincinnati Bengals trade up to draft a pass rusher. I mean, yeah, add some pass rush. Always needs pass rush. I'm not gonna spend too much time on that one unless you guys have anything.
I mean, really.
They got Cleveland Browns trading for Danico Autry, so just kind of another pass rusher you can add to the mix. They definitely had some problems with Davion Clowney, so having someone opposite of Myles Garrett could make a ton of sense. You got the Dallas Cowboys trading up for Bijan Robinson.
Why?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't see the point at all.
I don't see it. I mean, I don't think Jerry Jones.
They're paying one of these guys in the offseason, right?
Tony Pollard is a free agent.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Unless you don't believe in him and you don't want to bring him back, then sure, I guess. But
what? You already got a solid guy that's solidified. You know that he can run the ball. Just pay him.
Pass or catch, I should say.
Just pay him.
Yeah, no. I don't. And then as soon as you can get out of Zeke's contract, which I'm not even sure when that is, because I know it's not the greatest cap hit this offseason, and we'll see if he restructured it. But yeah, they already have Zeke Elliott, so I guess this would be them drafting a Zeke again, and of course, Bijan Robinson is the most hyped running back in this draft class. So
he's raw.
I don't see that happening, but
no.
Denver Broncos trade Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, definitely could see this happening. They need draft picks. They traded their first round pick they got from Bradley Chubb for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy was part of trade rumors at the trade deadline, which was an awesome trade deadline, by the way, which is something we don't see in the NFL very often. But Jerry Jeudy, I definitely could see a world where he is traded away. A lot of teams could use a guy like Jerry Jeudy. Yeah. But I also wouldn't mind the Broncos just keeping him because, I mean, on paper, I do like their wide receiver core with Jeudy and Sutton, but it's just sometimes those guys are always off the field with injuries. And Tim Patrick.
I just wish
he got hurt too.
Casey Hamler more in the mix.
Like, oh, yeah, him too.
He's so fast. I just don't get how. I mean, again, I know it's a system, the way the offense is designed, but you got all these studs, you got all these weapons. It's like every team just needs to operate their offense like Kansas City Chiefs. Like, holy crap, bro!
You're questioning how it doesn't work out, huh?
Yeah,
bro,
crazy.
That's why I'm glad we got Eric Bieniemy. Maybe you can bring that to Washington a little bit.
Guys, it's honestly scary.
Detroit Lions trade down in the draft, so they get the sixth pick via the Los Angeles Rams because of how bad the Rams were from the Stafford trade. Yeah, I mean. Kind of same thing Chicago. If you're Detroit, you're in a really good spot. Jared Goff kind of showed that he could potentially be a franchise quarterback for you. So trading down, you already have a lot of weapons on offense. I think the main thing the Lions need to focus on is the defense. I mean, they were one of the worst teams at giving up points, and they would always be in these shootouts because of how much points their defense were giving up. It was really exciting to see what we got out of Jeffrey Okudah after he's been hurt a lot. But yeah, if they can add more pieces to that defense, Aiden Hutchinson, of course, was amazing for them. It'd be great for the Lions to trade down and just keep adding around Goff and everything else they have going for them. So don't mind that one. We kind of mentioned this earlier. Green Bay Packers trade for Aaron Rodgers, or trade Aaron Rodgers, not trade for him. So yeah, honestly, I'm of the opinion that this team and Aaron Rodgers just need to part ways. I mean, I want to see him go with Jordan Love. We kind of talked about this already, so I don't know if we need to spend too much time on that. The Houston Texans trade Brandon Cooks. Yeah, he wanted out before the trade deadline, and he didn't get that request.
Another great weapon, just not even.
I was surprised he even re-signed with the Texans when he had the chance. Like, I thought for sure he'd go somewhere else, but
I'm sure he was promised something.
He's been bouncing around.
I was about to say we mentioned that in the past. He's been traded so many times in his career, so I can understand maybe he just was like, okay, I'm tired of moving all the time, so I'll resign somewhere and have a stop here because he played for the Saints, the Patriots, the Rams. I mean, now the Texans.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, Super Bowls, and sadly. He's been everywhere, and he always gets traded after he had an 1,000-yard season too, which was the funny part. I don't know why Cooks gets traded so much, but yeah, there's a ton of teams that could use a guy like Brandon Cooks. I love Brandon Cooks. Indianapolis Colts trade up for a quarterback. Yeah,
definitely they need it.
Jim Irsay has been on record saying he loves that kid out of Alabama, which of course referring to Bryce Young. So I would not be surprised at all to see a world where the Colts and the Bears make a trade with each other, where the Colts move up to number 1 and draft their quarterback. The Colts have been cycling through all these veterans: Philip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. Has not worked out whatsoever. Since Andrew Luck has abruptly retired on them, they've been just cycling through quarterbacks. So, I mean, it feels like when teams go out for the veterans, it never seems to work out. So, the best way to get a quarterback is through the draft, it feels like nowadays. So, all these quarterbacks are getting drafted or turning into studs So yes, I do love the idea of the Colts trading up.
And I definitely think he's an upcoming stud. Look at all the Alabama quarterbacks. Even Tua, he's had his injuries, but he was playing up to par. So I'll give
this
him
year
that.
he was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved what Tua brought to the Dolphins this
that
year.
man can throw dots, and he definitely is not afraid to throw the ball down. So.
Jacksonville. Go ahead.
What about Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Mac
Trade
Jones,
for him?
I mean, he's not like
I saw a report today.
Terrible.
I saw a report today that the Patriots made, or it was something about how they made sure not to yell at him or something like that.
Whoa.
I don't know how true the report was. I was
Make
just
sure not to yell at him, huh?
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter about it. So like Twitter is always weird. You never know what's true. But Jacksonville Jaguars trade Shaquille Griffin, move up for a cornerback. So Shaquille Griffin, veteran corner for them. I mean, sure, why not? Go get some more young players on your defense. The Jaguars were a nice surprise this year and keep building. I love the hire of Doug Peterson. He's got a great culture developed there after they had one of the worst cultures with Urban Meyer, of course.
Man.
So, yeah, I definitely love the idea of that. Kansas City Chiefs trade away Frank Clark.
I can see it.
I know Frank Clark has a decent cap hit. They could free up. I saw somehow they could free up about like I might be wrong in this number, but it was like a crazy number if they released Chris Jones and Frank Clark, but they're not releasing Chris Jones.
There's no way.
I mean, if you're going to get rid of him, at least you're going to trade him.
Yeah.
Like, he's been amazing for them. So Frank Clark, on the other hand, I could see a world where they do end up trading him or releasing him for money. Just kind of depends. But yeah, the Chiefs obviously going to restructure contracts, going to do everything they can to keep getting better. So Frank Clark, I could see a world where that could actually happen.
Something to add, it's crazy that every year they always say something bad about the Chiefs defense, but they find a way to get it done.
They do. Offense wins championships, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to say. But I wish Dustin was here for this one. Las Vegas Raiders trade for Mac Jones. I know Dustin is not a big fan of this idea. We've kind of talked about it. Yeah, Josh McDaniels, Mac Jones were together, I think, for 1 or 2 seasons. So if you wanted some familiarity there, of course, you could go with that. Mac Jones, I assume he'll be with the Patriots. One thing I will say about Mac Jones is he's had like a different offensive coordinator every year since he's been in the league. So it would definitely be nice for him some continuity to go back with Josh McDaniels, I guess. But I assume I don't really see that happening. I think the Patriots like Mac Jones, although I liked what we saw to Bailey Zapp there for a second. But the Patriots believe in Mac Jones. It seems like a little bit more. The Los Angeles Chargers trade for Devin White.
Woohoo!
So
That'd
the Chargers,
be crazy.
They go star chasing again. They add Clomac, and then they go for Devin White the next offseason.
That would be wild.
That would be nasty.
That would be wild. Imagine if J.C. Jackson gets back. I know they were saying some things about him and he got injured. But, man, like, L.A. on paper looks nasty.
Yeah.
It's scary how good
I'm glad they got to the playoffs. Obviously, they melted down when they got there. But, yeah, their defense, once they built that defense they did in the offseason, we were all super pumped about it. But, of course, they just really couldn't stay healthy. Joey Bosa missing time. Clomac missed. I don't think Clomac missed time, but J.C. Jackson, of course, got hurt. So, yeah, if you added Devin White to that mix, I don't know what you're trading to get him. The Chargers already traded draft picks to get Clomac. So
secondary's pretty raw.
Yeah.
Derwin James.
Asante Samuel as well. You got the other Los Angeles team, or we talked about this. They trade Jalen Ramsey away. I thought it said they trade for Jalen Ramsey. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, Rams trade Jalen Ramsey. We know that's an idea, and that's
like what's. I know we talked about it a little bit. I just kind of want to touch on like what's a really good fit for him. I mean, you said Minnesota.
That's the team that comes to mind immediately is Minnesota because of how bad they were at corner last year, and they just need corners 100%. Like Patrick Peterson was their best corner, and he's just kind of old. Yeah. So yeah, I think Ramsey in Minnesota makes a lot of sense. They can make that happen. Their window of opportunity to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion, for the Vikings is simmering down slowly because the team is only getting older. They're not really a young roster anymore. They have some young guys. Don't get me wrong. Justin Jefferson, of course, going to be there forever. I'm not saying that, but like Adam Thielen's about to be on the wrong side of 30. You got like Danielle Hunter, Zadarius Smith, so like Harrison Smith. So you do have some veterans over there.
They're pushing age.
Pushing age for sure. So Jalen Ramsey is like the go-get win-now move that I definitely think makes a lot of sense. The Miami Dolphins trade for Darren Waller. So the Dolphins really, I know there were some problems between Mike Gesicki and the Dolphins. I know he said to, I believe it was Hayden. I can't remember exactly who he said. I think it was to Hayden Hurst or Tanyan. I can't remember. He said to tight end, I'm glad you're being used. Or no, it was Dawson Knox on the Bills. But he was like, said to him in like a mic'd up thing where he was like, I'm glad, the team's using you. So
out of all tight ends, he says it's Dawson Knox.
Yeah, he said that Dawson.
Okay.
Hey, dude, Dawson Knox was going off towards the end of the year.
Yeah,
He
well,
was.
Say it to somebody like T.J.
Fantasy.
Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson, yeah. But yeah, Dolphins getting Darren Waller, add another weapon to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Why not? Especially if they don't plan on re-signing Mike Gesicki, who I think is a very good tight end, and there's a lot of teams that should be lining up for his services. I know my Commanders could use a tight end, so I wouldn't mind that if we could pull that off. But
and he can jump out the roof, man.
for sure, Darren Waller, Dolphins, I like it. I'm not opposed to that. Yeah, we were just kind of saying this. Minnesota trades Eric Hendricks and Harrison Smith. Now, we weren't suggesting to trade these guys, but these guys are like two of these guys that are just getting up there in age. So I guess if Minnesota wanted to start tearing it down maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit of a reset, because Kirk Cousins isn't any younger either, obviously. But yeah, I don't know if I like the idea of trading for Harrison or trading away those two guys unless, like I said, you're going in a direction that you want to go in. I think the Viking Super Bowl opportunity is still somewhat open. It's kind of there. I thought it was shut last year, but when they brought in Kevin O'Connell, they definitely, I mean, they had a good year. A lot of their wins were like single-digit deficits, but
yeah, that's crazy.
very, very close games. But yeah, Minnesota Vikings trading Eric Hendricks, Harrison Smith. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to see them go get like a Ramsey and then like go for it maybe one more time, and then maybe you could talk about tearing it down. But
it's also like, what's gonna happen when Kirk does end up? I mean, I'm guessing he's gonna be in Minnesota the rest of his career. Justin Jefferson, stud, flat out stud. But when you get a young quarterback in there, the scenario is like, is he still gonna get the ball as much? Is he gonna get hit downfield as much? That's the real question.
I guess it just depends what quarterback you bring.
We'll see though. But Justin Jefferson, man, I hope he finds someone that can replace Kirk Cousins, because for many years to come, he's gonna be 1,000-yard.
Yeah, Kirk is always hot and cold, so you never know what you're gonna get week to week with him. But when he's hot, he's hot. But when he's cold, he's cold. So like
throwing a check down on or whatever it was.
Dude, that was the dumbest play. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. New England Patriots trade for DeAndre Hopkins. So the Patriots go ahead and steal away the idea of Hopkins going to the Ravens.
Well, I do see a lot of Patriots fans that do want wide receiver. And I think, who's the wide receiver they're talking about paying this offseason?
Jacoby Myers, which he had a really good season.
Yeah.
So him next to DeAndre Hopkins, that could be actually a really good duo.
And is Nelson Aguilar a free agent? Or
not 100% sure on that. I think he signed a 3-year deal with the Patriots, so he might be getting close to the end of his contract. Here's a fun one. New Orleans Saints acquired Tyler Huntley. I don't know if you call that a dream scenario.
They need something behind center.
Man, like I get he was a Pro Bowler, so I guess if that's what you're trying to make an argument for.
He made the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, he did.
There's a lot of situations that had to happen, and they all worked out. And he was able to go.
There were so many guys that couldn't go or attend, so like they just kept going down the list, and they landed on Tyler Huntley. I guess
Mr. Huntley, the GOAT.
He threw like one touchdown all year, and it was a Pro Bowler. So that
like
just kind of
interceptions too.
It goes to show you. Yeah, the NBA and the NFL are struggling with the All-Star Game and the Pro Bowl things. Like they're starting to get really bad. Like it's getting unwatchable. I know the NFL tried some different things this year, but I didn't watch it again. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I'm not.
Ooh, Alex, you like this one? New York Giants trade for T. Higgins.
Bro, I love that.
Dude, that would be.
If I was correct, the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals said, "Find your own wide receiver."
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of people talking about this idea on Twitter, because obviously when you get to the point where you got to pay 2 wide receivers and you're going to have to pay your quarterback eventually, Joe Burrow, Mark Chase, of course you're paying him like 100%. And then a lot of people model T. Higgins as a number 1 wide receiver, so you're going to have to pay him number 1 wide receiver type money, which I would argue the Chargers are kind of doing that with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So like the Bengals could kind of do the same thing, but they don't have to pay Herbert yet. So yeah, it's
Yep.
Dude,
yeah, that Jared just pulled up T. Higgins.
Duke, whatever his last name is, I'm not gonna pronounce that. I don't know how to say it.
Duke.
Tobin, whatever.
You want a good receiver, go get your own.
Yep.
So
that sounds like they're paying Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Dude,
bro, I'm telling you though, if Higgins was like, I've seen some ideas. If Higgins was on the Giants, that would be awesome.
I think if Higgins was anywhere.
Yeah, he's a number 1 type wide receiver for sure.
Listen,
like,
so
I
think you literally said that last week. So
to anybody in the AFC North, we hope T. Higgins gets traded.
Yeah, I mean Ravens
Giants, preferably.
Yeah, go to the Giants.
We don't hope that, but
I didn't even have a scenario like that in my head. But bro, if T. Higgins,
I was already mad that AJ Brown came to division.
I was about to say, good for me, but shitty for Brady, huh?
Yeah, that would suck. New York Jets trade for Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, the Jets, of course, gonna be quarterback searching. I think they most likely end up with Derek Carr. We all predicted that.
I do. We did say Derek Carr, but I do like Aaron Rodgers a lot more on the Jets.
Oh,
That's
for
just
sure.
me. He's experienced, great veteran. Would be, I think, just perfect. 'Cause obviously, like we said, that team's young. Give them a quarterback, and I feel like they can do really good in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. The Jets are on the rise. They need a vet, and that would be.
He's one of those guys where when he just walks in the locker room, all the youngsters are like, all right, I'm going to play at the highest level possible because that's Aaron Rodgers.
That's a great point.
And he holds you accountable.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers does not mess around. We
He's-
all saw what what kind of faces he would make at the receivers when they dropped the ball, or he'd yell at them. So Rodgers, I get it.
No, but that is a good point by Alex, though. You're a young guy, and you get to play for a quarterback like that, man. You want to do your best, show your best for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know they made a big deal about Romeo Doubs and Aaron Rodgers never hanging out off the field, but like the age difference is so like crazy. I don't even know why that's a big deal, but
because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to the club.
yeah,
he ain't going to the club.
He doesn't seem like it.
No, not at all.
Philadelphia Eagles trade up to draft an elite defender. I mean, yeah, they have assets from the Saints trade when the Saints made that weird trade to like trade up in the draft or get a first round pick. So sure, why not? Eagles keep adding.
As complete as their team seems, it's like where do they really have holes? I feel like you got to really look in depth. I don't know. I think that team is really built around. To me, it's crazy that they still didn't win the Super Bowl.
Man,
But I mean, yeah, just add to that great defense they already have.
they definitely got a little exposed that second half.
Oh
They
yeah.
do.
And I had the Chiefs win all the way, but I did not think it was going to get out of hand at all. That's why it was such a close game.
Well, let me just bring this up real quick. Because if Jalen Hurts didn't fumble that damn ball, they would have blown the Chiefs out. I'm going
Think
to just
so?
stand on that.
Yeah,
It was going to go down the field and drive. That was 27-7 after they scored that.
That was a big event in the Super Bowl for sure.
That was
Huge.
It just slipped right out.
Literally. That
Pittsburgh-
script was crazy.
Shouldn't have ate that popcorn.
Pittsburgh Steelers acquire Orlando Brown in a tag and trade. So the Browns Steelers add a tackle, but I've heard that the Chiefs
read that
definitely
again?
want
Yeah,
Orlando Brown, former Raven offensive lineman. So.
Well, yeah,
don't
but
think
what
he's
I'm saying, I
going
don't like that because he's already been traded. Just pay the man.
Yeah.
He's been. He needs to get paid. But I want to say that I did
No,
see
go
a lot of Chiefs fans were kind of skeptical on him this year. I didn't really see how he performed, but I seen some saying that he didn't do the greatest, but still, I think he's definitely a guy.
I've already heard rumors they're gonna like franchise tag him again. So
He's all pro though, right?
I'm not sure.
Pretty sure they had like.
the 26-year-old now is a 4-time Pro Bowler who has made the All-Star game as a both right and left tackle. So we all know what kind of
He had to switch
And
around
Humphrey
with us.
Creed, I think, for center was also.
49ers trade for Sedarius Smith. This article is basically suggesting the Vikings need to tear it down and just start trading veterans away, I
pretty
guess. You add another pass rusher next to what they already have. I mean, that's kind of nasty. You could definitely cycle through. You have Nick Bosa, Zadarius Smith, Eric Armstead. Yeah, that could be pretty nasty.
I love the Niners. Like, I really thought they had a great shot at making the Super Bowl, even the year before that when they had that drop pick against the LA Rams. The quarterback position is still up for grabs, in my opinion. I know Brock Purdy played at a very high level, but like, why would you draft Trey Lance to just turn around and get rid of him?
Yeah, Jimmy G will start for that. No, I'm just kidding. Jimmy G's definitely gone, but Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, I think they'll be competing probably this season. Seattle Seahawks trade for Quinnen Williams. So I don't think the Jets allow that to happen. I don't know.
He's just too much of an asset.
Yeah.
Wasn't he like first? He was like third pick, first round.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you give up something good for him, but the Jets need to keep where they're at and just, get their quarterback.
Nasty. The Jets can be that. Like, I just love seeing the underdog team.
Yeah.
I love it.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade Donovan Smith. He's got a huge cap hit. He is their left tackle. Not too much to say about that unless you guys want to go in depth on Donovan Smith.
I mean, not really. There's the quarterback position.
Well, yeah, apparently they said that they are comfortable with just rolling with Kyle Trask. So,
yeah.
I mean, sure, why not? Go for him. Tennessee Titans trade Ryan Tannehill. I did think I just saw something right before we started recording, though, that they might be rolling with him. So
if they trade him, are we just walking with Malik?
Malik Willis, they didn't even trust him to throw the ball last year, though.
Which is
No,
crazy.
You get mad. He was getting mad at him for pulling and running. Like, he would score. I mean, I get it. You want to coach him and do the correct thing, or in your eyes, do the correct thing. But
I don't even really like where the Titans are as a franchise right now, to be honest.
It's just so iffy. It's there. Like when AJ Brown left, and then
I know I say it all the time, but I still hate the fact that they traded him. I say it every single time we talk about them, so I probably need to stop saying it. But
it's crazy.
I mean, Traylon Burks looks like he becomes something for them. We don't know if they even believe in Malik Willis. They drafted him in the 3rd round, but like it sounded like they didn't even like him. Like I said, throwing last year. Tannehill has been a solid starter for them, so I assume he'll be back, and they'll probably just keep rolling with him. And then eventually, we'll find out if they believe in Monte. Or I was about to say Monte Morris, who is a point guard for the Washington Wizards. Malik Willis. I don't know why I was going different sports.
Basketball,
Quick
man.
scenario.
Go ahead.
Jalen Ramsey.
I mean,
Who's the 2 corners again?
they have Caleb Farley and Christian Fulton, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. They have some young corners. I don't know, man. I feel like the Titans just need to go like full rebuild mode. Like even they should consider like trading Derrick Henry too, in my opinion.
Oh man,
Whoa.
I know that's the identity of their
Tennessee
team.
fans
Whoa.
shook up.
So I don't
if he
like the
left.
idea of them for Jalen Ramsey just because I would rather see them go rebuild mode, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know they're not going to. Mike Vrabel is a great head coach, and he had them playing well until they just like started losing a bunch of games. So that's why I don't think they're going to tear it down, because they did cut like Robert Woods, of course, which he did literally nothing for them pretty much.
I was actually surprised.
They got the Washington Commanders tag and trading Deron Payne. Well, we did franchise tag him. Of
He's
course,
not
they
going
could trade him, but I hope they don't
don't-
do that. I don't
I
think they're going to
agree.
trade
They
him.
release Carson Wentz, you know where that money's going.
Yeah, it's going to Deron Payne, like 100%. And then, of course, whatever else we bring in. So, no, I don't
Chase
agree with
Young
that.
Back and healthy and ready to go.
Yeah,
The
and
D
then,
line's nasty.
exactly.
Washington's gonna be tough.
Or another scenario, I saw the meme of like the Batman looking at the phone on his bed, and it's AJ Brown playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's a Tennessee fan looking at it. like what you could have had.
That would be me if Terry McLaurin ever got traded when that was like rumored like crazy. I was so glad.
I know you were probably getting so annoyed.
Dude, I
at
was
that
getting
shit.
so mad. Skylar and Jared were texting me every day, or not every day. I'm exaggerating, but they were like, "Oh, McLaurin. There's rumors about McLaurin going to Green Bay
Yeah,
or
every day at
Baltimore."
every day at 6 a.m. we was texting Brady every day. No, but I know how you feel now because you know the whole Lamar Jackson stuff. But
Yeah.
like I know how annoying that is, dude. It's like hurry up and get the deal over with
Just
so
get
people
the
can
deal
stop
done.
talking
I was
about
so
it.
glad we got it done. But
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be it, boys. Unless you got anything else you guys want to add before we head out.
No.
I just hope Saquon can come back. That's all I gotta say, man. That's all I
Saquon, Danny
say.
Dimes back to New York, and we'll see what happens. Of course, probably by the time we drop this video, there's gonna be more releases, more franchise tags. That's usually how it goes for us.
up.
But I will see y'all next week. This is In The Slant, hopefully with Dustin as well. We're saying peace.